following video contains a build designed for effective farming of the new PVE game mode, Countdown. We have bulk damage, and bulk survivability. This is a face-tanking player's wet dream. Viewer discretion is advised.
Everything. System functioning. Not all blinded. Now looking good after. System activated. Well, you got 3 hunters there. And push the other one. An agent needs assistance. Functioning.
So, I'm going to kill each and every one of you, and the only disappointment in it for me is that I only get to do it once.
Let's get to the chopper! What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.
7 mil damage.
Wants to be king!
Set it on whatever your kind of expertise. So, okay, this is how I do it. Most of my builds for PVP so I Plum here, g'day champions, how's it going, and welcome back to another Division 2 build video. So, what's on the cards for today, you ask? Well, as you all know, I've been streaming on Twitch, and a lot of viewers have been asking the build that I'm using when farming Countdown. I've been able to tank nearly everything the game's thrown at me with this build. We've got insane damage and insane survivability. Now there's nothing overly unique, and I'm pretty sure a lot of players are going to say that they've got something just like this at the moment and it's the new meta. Cool, well I'd still like to make a build video on it, because as you saw in the opening gameplay, I'm the king of face tanking. This build's including some of the new gear that we've gotten in Title Update 15. To be honest, it's pretty easy to farm for and to put together. Now I will cover a slight variation on this build for some players that might not have certain items. It's what I was using before I got a couple of pieces, and there will be some bonus gameplay at the end of the video. Righto, welcome back to all you amazing subscribers, and if you're new to the channel and enjoying the content, you know what to do. Pull your finger out and give that sub button a click. And while you're there, engage with this video, a like, a share, a comment, it all helps with the magic and wizardry of the YouTube algorithm. Doing all this kind of stuff is going to help the channel and our amazing community grow. And don't forget to check me out on all my other socials, including Twitch, Discord, Facebook, the works. All the links are in the description. Okay then, with all that said and done and out of the way, let's jump in and check out my Countdown farming build. No reds, 6 blues, and it does say no skill tiers, but we do get 1 skill tier from Technician. 1.8 million armor, it's not a big boy, this one's a man. 4 pieces of the new gear set Heartbreaker, 1 piece Fenris, and the new exotic mask. Now before we go any further, here's a quick look at that slight variation on how I originally had the build set up. I was originally using the regular TKB with Optimus and I was rocking a Seska mask for more crit hit chance. This is very strong and super effective to farm missions, and I'll pop some gameplay at the end of the video. So yeah, if you're missing a couple of items from the build, don't stress, use this one, this is a nice variation. But back to the King of Face Tanking build, and the specialization we're going to be using is Technician. Like I said, we get that extra skill tier, which is nice, but the main reason is we get the linked laser pointer. Please remember to have this attached to your weapon. Shit, I've even fucked up and I was running around thinking, why the fuck wasn't things getting pulsed? Basically, with this laser pointer on your gun, you aim it and it pulses a target. For our weapons, we're rocking the new named KTB AR, the Kingbreaker. I've been lucky enough to get this one and have it maxed out, and I've gone with damage to targets out of cover. Damage to targets out of cover is the best in slot for damage on ARs. It's a higher valued roll than damage to armor, and most of the time in this fast paced game, targets are out of cover more often than not. The talent on this one's Perfect Flatline, amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulse targets. After 2 kills, applies a pulse to the next enemy we hit. Like I mentioned before, make sure this one's modded correctly. We've got a crit hit chance scope, the extended mag, that linked laser pointer, very important, and a crit hit chance muzzle. The linked laser pointer is what's going to proc Perfect Flatline and our chest talent and our gear set. For the secondary, we've got the ACS-12, aka the showstopper for all you Div 1 vets. Shitty rolls I know, but we've got Flatline here too. Now the reason that we're using this is to get those fast stacks of bonus armor from our gear set. Currently the stacks are per pellet. I imagine this will be nerfed in the near future to maybe per shot, not pellet. But for now, I'm going to be using it and having fun with it. And for the pistol, we've got the Orbit. It's going to give the build 40% crit hit damage when procced. Righto then, let's check out the gear on the build. The mask is the new exotic mask, the Catharsis. I reckon the devs named it this because they knew everyone would have a shit time saying it.
The establishment does everything in its power to ensure that revolutionary rage is redirected into empty outlets which provide pressure releases for desire that could become dangerous if allowed to progress.
Max armor, incoming repairs, armor regen, and I've got a crit hit chance mod. As this is an exotic, all the attributes are locked. Now I haven't even unlocked this piece on the season track yet. I got this one from an SHD requisition cache live on stream, so shout out to the big bull for the tip on this one. The talent is called Vicious Cycle. Taking damage builds stacks to cap at 30. Each stack grants 1% weapon damage. Taking damage at max stack triggers a purge. This is going to remove all stacks and status effects. Then it'll be dropping a healing cloud, which is going to restore 5% of your max armor for 10 seconds to all your allies in the cloud. So basically, the more damage we take, the more damage we deal, up to 30%. Now this healing cloud does seem to do a bit more than 5%. It might have something to do with the incoming repairs roll, or maybe the max armor bit of the calculation is based off our bonus armor too. It's really weird. I've seen the cloud be super weak and super strong, so I'm definitely going to be testing this a bit further. For the chest piece, it's our one piece of Fenris for that 10% AR damage. Max armor, crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and a crit hit chance mod. I'm now expertise level 3 on this item, so I get 3% armor added to my overall chest armor roll. This is the 158k part, not the core attribute roll of 170k. The talent on the chest is Spotter, amplifies weapon damage and skill damage by 15% to pulsed enemies. So by just aiming and shooting, we're getting 35% amplified damage. For the holster, it's the first of 4 pieces of the new gear set, Heartbreaker. Our gear set bonuses include 15% AR and LMG damage, 15% weapon handling, and Heartstopper. Headshots apply a pulse for 5 seconds. Weapon hits on pulsed enemies adds a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% damage to pulsed enemies, up to 50 stacks. 2 stacks are lost each second. So at the maximum stacks we're going to have 50% weapon damage and 50% bonus armor active. I do need to farm for a better holster, but at the moment we've got armor and crit hit chance. The knee pads are the second piece of Heartbreaker, max armor and crit hit damage, and I've upgraded the expertise level on this now to 3% armor. The gloves are the third piece of Heartbreaker, same again here, armor, crit hit damage, and trying to upgrade them. And the last piece on the build is the backpack, and it's the fourth piece of Heartbreaker. Armor, crit hit damage, and a crit hit damage mod, and I've upgraded this a couple of times too. Now the backpack's got a separate talent of its own too, and it's called Cold. Cold increases total bonus armor gained per stack from Heartstopper from 1% to 2%, meaning now we can get 100% bonus armor and 50% weapon damage. We can also get that 30% weapon damage buff from the mask and the 35% amplified damage from our chest and weapon. That's some insane damage and insane survivability. So what skills to use? Keeping in mind that the hunters are going to basically jam any skill you throw at them. But for me and how I've been running the build, I still think the shield's super viable. If you don't want to use a shield, don't use a shield. I don't mind it, so I'm going to be using it. Just keep in mind that with Title Update 15, now when a shield breaks, you get briefly disorientated. And the second skill, best bang for buck in PvE, it's the Assault Drone. This will get a nice little damage buff too from Spotter because that amplifies weapon damage and skill damage. Righto then, fine print time, the stat sheet. Crit hit chance and crit hit damage is a little bit low, but this will increase by group members using coyotes and also with our orbit buff. These buffs will take us to the crit hit chance cap and we'll get like 190% crit hit damage. We also have that 10% damage to targets out of cover on our gun, along with the massive list of extra damage buffs. Shall we go over all of them again? Sure, why not? Perfect Flatline and Spotter, that's 35% amplified damage. Catharsis is an added 30% weapon damage. And Heartstopper is another 50% weapon damage. It's just insane how much damage and survivability this build has. So that's my countdown build. It's not overly difficult to put together, and you have that other option of that slight variation if you're missing a couple of the items. It's great to have some new gear in the game to play around with, and you can run and gun your little hearts out on this one. Face tank your way through Countdown, and most of all, have a lot of bloody fun doing it. So, what do you reckon? Are you going to be a champion and have a crack at my Countdown build? What modifications would you make? Let me know down below. All the music on my channel is proudly brought to you by Artlist.io. They're not a paid sponsor, it's just a website that I'm a member of, and their music is insanely good. It helps me and thousands of others create stunning videos with the best royalty-free music and sound effects. Artlist.io. And that's it for me on this one, champs. Drop a comment below about whatever. Any feedback, build questions, suggestions, or ideas, you know I'm easy. Help yourself and the channel, make sure that you've hit that bell notification so you know every time I upload new content. So, did you like it? Then smash that like button, and if you didn't, you can press the dislike. But remember, to support me and the channel, hit that sub button and become a creepy subscriber. And I'll catch you all in the next one, champions. I'm Plum out.